Halo Infinite was supposed to be the flagship release for Xbox Series X for the start of the next generation. Hype and expectation was high for the massive shooter with a sizable marketing campaign behind its planned 2020 release. Halo did not live up to that expectation, and now 343 has reemerged from a heads-down working studio, ready to declare that finally, Master Chief is coming back, and this time, the right way. This is Colt Eastwood. Thank you for checking in. This brand new information from one of Xbox's biggest studios, and the source is linked in the description. I want to get right into what they had to say, so if you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel and hit the bell to be notified of new content. And let's get into this update for Halo Infinite. Joseph Staten, a longtime Halo creative director and contributor to the Halo franchise over the past decade, has been brought back to lead 343 into a resurgence for Halo Infinite. He has spent the last 4 months immersing into the Halo universe and said it's his honor as creative director to help 343 ship Halo Infinite in fall 2021. Joseph joined 343 right as the team was wrestling with feedback from the July campaign demo. This discussion boiled down to one fundamental truth. They needed more time to do things right. That included pushing hard in the fall, giving the team the time to recharge over the holidays, and then coming back in January of 2021 to finish the game at a healthy pace. The visuals, graphics, and overall presentation of Halo Infinite have been a controversial sore spot for 343 and the fans of the Halo franchise that expected the latest Halo game to blow them away with next-generation presentation on the world's most powerful console. In the months since the campaign demo, the team has been heads down working on everything from lighting to fog to wear and tear on the Spartan armor, making sure they are conveying a unified visual direction for Halo Infinite based on specific pre-established pillars that represent the backbone of the Halo aesthetic. With the help of the art direction team, they have reviewed all assets, environments, characters, vehicles, and weapons that make it into the game from start to finish, looking for 3 conditions. 1, making sure all assets fit into the gameplay needs. 2, that they fit into the Halo aesthetic and legacy. And 3, the art and graphics team said they all look awesome. The campaign demo in July, showing Halo Infinite gameplay for the first time, generally landed as 343 wanted. The reality is that the art and visuals weren't at the bar they hold for Halo, even in a work-in-progress state. They said that much of the feedback they heard from the community aligned with their own views and the work they were already committed to do around things like indirect lighting, material response, foliage and tree rendering, clouds, level of detail transitions, and character fidelity. Still, the feedback for them was humbling, and it pushed 343 to look at additional opportunities for improvement. A reasonable set of key features from global illumination, dynamic time of day to GPU-driven rendering and variable rate shading were all in active development. Much of the graphics team's capacity, along with some key technical artists, were focused on achieving high resolution and performance leading up to the demo in July, which meant several of these features didn't quite get the level of polish and bug fixing that was warranted. Some of the key areas of progress include better quality of global illumination, ambient inclusion, shadows, volumetric lighting, sky, and atmosphere. They have also addressed issues with the GPU-driven rendering and texture streaming solution that should mitigate the level of detail popping and texture quality issues that many complained about in the July demo. 343 has been carefully trying to strike a balance between classic Halo look and feel and modern forward-looking next-generation Halo in the canon put forth in this trilogy. The team said, quote, "We knew it wouldn't be trivial to combine the cleaner and simpler forms of classic games like Halo 1 or 2 with the next generation requirements and expectations of Halo Infinite. Merging both was going to be a challenge, but we stood close to our visual principles and made it work in the best way, one day at a time. We managed to find a balance of modern visuals combined with a classic aesthetic that will definitely speak to all, and we couldn't be more proud of this." There's been a lot of work redone, retuning the dynamic lighting values to add more punch and contrast to the image. These included adjustments to the sun intensity, fog, atmosphere, and the addition of color grading, which did not make its way into that July gameplay demo in 2020. They've improved materials to get more specular response, more wear and tear on the weapons and vehicles, more fidelity in characters, and more macro breakup on large surfaces like rocks, terrains, and hex walls. Currently, 343 is getting more textural detail coming through to the final frame thanks to a sharpening process that the graphics team has added. One of the most obvious problems with the presentation for Halo Infinite was the meme of Craig, a brute in that freeze frame, drew the most attention to the underwhelming visuals in the gameplay demo. The art team spoke candidly about Craig, saying, "Firstly, I can confirm that the facial animations on NPCs was not fully implemented in that build, which resulted in Craig's incredibly deadpan, lifeless look. All characters are modeled in a neutral pose prior to blend shapes and animations being applied, so poor old Craig was never intended to be seen in that condition, which is not something that was evident during the gameplay. It was only later in the close-up freeze frame of his one bad moment where it came to light and the legend of Craig was born. There's been further work done on the material fidelity and more variety added for brute faces, and we're also working to add some hairdos and beards, which was something we hadn't gotten to do in July. So whilst we've come to love our dear old Craig, he's certainly undergoing a significant makeover. Craig isn't the only model to see improvements though. There have been significant changes to other characters and 3D models as they continue to evolve and polish the content, some of which can be seen in the Spartan and weapon renders being shared today. Another improvement that is unique to the exterior environment is the seamless time of day, which requires a more dynamic global illumination approach, along with providing various knobs to control the elements of lighting, sky, and atmospherics, and color grading as time progresses. They have made significant improvements on foliage, trees, and grass, both in terms of rendering fidelity and draw distance. There are major improvements in the pipeline that illustrate how far behind 343 was on that July build of Halo Infinite in the summer of 2020. They said that, quote, "Making a game from hundreds of at-home desks is clearly something that initially reduced our ability to merge all game assets into a single successful vision. It was without a doubt the biggest challenge we have facing this year, but with time, dedication, and perseverance, we are making it work. The improvements have been phenomenal, and all teams have been fully focused at improving communication between tech and art, and it's giving fantastic results. I cannot wait to show you more, of course." End quote. 343 is also compartmentalized into working on the single-player expansive open-world campaign, while another team is focused on the absolutely massive multiplayer suite of modes, maps, assets, and netcode to bring Halo's fight to the world online. This means no loot boxes and no pay to win. 343 believes that healthy engagement is paramount. They want everyone to play the game in a healthy manner that they enjoy. They're not going to try and build a grind machine that burns everyone out in an attempt to get more game time. Examples of this in practice include no loot boxes, either through engagement or any premium route, and they're not selling power or giving unfair advantage in game via any route. Even cosmetics are promised to give you creative freedom to create the online Spartan you want, with a set of cosmetic-only rewards to Halo. They want great-looking assets and ways to show off your Spartan. They also want to make sure that Halo Infinite players will be able to get their old favorites as well as find new favorites at launch and expand them over the months post-launch. Much like Master Chief Collection, 343 wants to bring everything to Halo Infinite over the course of its lifespan online. We can expect much of the great tried-and-true multiplayer from Halo that has been in the Bungie-era games and new favorites found in 343's Halo Online. But a new addition is a free-to-play online approach for competitive and cooperative multiplayer. This is where paid premium cosmetics come into the ecosystem, but players still will obtain tons of customization content through things like playing the campaign, challenges, skill and special events, legacy rewards, and the progress system, and much more. The coding system is returning from Halo 5 for Halo Infinite. There will be full spectrum RGB colors and patterns with texture overlays. But the campaign is very important to Xbox as a whole, and it is one of the biggest single-player games to come to the platform, and especially for the start of new generation on console and a new generation of Halo fans. Joseph Staten, the creative director, says, quote, "I played the entire Infinite campaign twice. I was, in a word, stunned in the best possible way by what the team had done. Infinite is by far the most expansive and vertical Halo world ever. I could feel the classic Halo 30 seconds of fun beating at the heart of Infinite's world. But I had never felt more powerful, more mobile, more in command of a rich set of tactical choices. This was the Halo we imagined back in 2000, finally coming to life after 20 years of technical and creative innovation. It encapsulates all of the excitement and curiosity and joy I felt on my first journey through Zeta Halo, the most mysterious, dangerous, and possibility-rich place in the entire Halo universe. Everywhere I looked, I saw choices. Do I explore off the Golden Path, assault that banished war base guarding the Valley Pass, follow a flight of Forerunner Sentinels into that unexpected cavern, rescue a squad of Marines dug in and desperate halfway up that mountain, or do I keep pulling the mainline story thread that feels epic and intimate at the exact same time? Truly, Halo Infinite is a world in which I love spending time and that I'm thrilled to return to, both as a designer and a player. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for your patience and your passion. We can't wait for you to join us on the Halo Infinite adventure, first with Insider Flighting later next year, and then when we ship in the fall of 2021. End quote. Put simply, it sounds like the art team, engineers, designers, and Halo experts are all busy taking the extra time and effort to create that Halo Infinite that fans truly deserve. Giving the teams working from home an entire extra year to make things right is something that Xbox needs to encourage from each of their studios. Halo Infinite will likely be shown again next summer, and I can't wait to see what this massive studio, filled with Halo fans themselves, have dreamed up for Xbox. This is Colt Eastwood. Thank you so much for watching. I remember sitting right here at home in July watching that Halo Infinite footage unfold and thinking it was so great that Xbox showed an extended segment of gameplay. The combat itself looked incredible, and the weapons and classic Halo feel mixed with the new combat ideas was a great thing to see, but that backlash over the underwhelming visuals and character models really took the wind out of our sails. I'm glad that they've decided to delay it and make things right, and releasing the game in holiday 2021 is a smart move. If you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two and what to expect from Halo Infinite next year, show your appreciation by liking and subscribing to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of new content, add me on Xbox Live and Twitter at Colt Eastwood. Channel members and Patreons that join will get early access to new videos and be entered into monthly giveaways. But now, I want to hear what you think of these changes for Halo. Let me know in the comments. Be constructive, be honest, and above all, please, be nice.